Yesterday, I shot a video for y'all about continuity of community and security. And it was a pretty good video. The only problem was it was pouring rain and we were walking around in the woods. And as such, the audio quality was terrible. So, take 2 of that video. Security. I'm gonna try and rehash what I said yesterday. More freaking pig prints. Right there. See that? They come through here and just tore that up. Again, that was not there yesterday. So, security. Should you have security? Yes. Minimum security. 1 guard posted day and night around the clock. The more, the merrier. It would be my approach to have 25% of your time, energy, attention, focus, money, training, preparation put toward security. It's vital. It's really it's a real possibility that you amass a healthy stockpile of equipment and material, that you build a thriving community, and if you don't have a way to protect it and hold on to it, you've done all that preparation for somebody else. So 25%, including your manpower. So if there's 12 people in your group, that's 3 people. If there's 40 or 50 people in your group, that's about 12 people. So, 10 to 12 people. So I said yesterday that I would kind of break that out into a few different things. Number 1, every able-bodied person on your team, in your mag, as a member of your community, should be proficient with one of these. It's kind of the Marine Corps concept that everybody's a rifleman first. After that, you're a truck driver or a medic or a logistics officer or Osprey pilot or whatever. But everybody knows how to shoot first, so that everybody can put rounds on target if needed. And that's important, that if your outside perimeter is breached and you need to coalesce around your position, reinforce your position, and defend from your front door, which you should not be doing, that's the next point, but if you need to defend from your front door, you have people that can do it. Or if you need to spell your dedicated security forces for whatever reason, you have people that can step into that role. So that's the first thing. Operating at about a 25% rule of thumb for security personnel, I would, my goal, honestly, is to eventually have a group of 40 to 50 people, able-bodied people, which would be about a dozen people as a dedicated security force. So, using that round number of a dozen people, I would want 4 that were expertly trained in the judicious use of a long gun. Meaning that if your longest shot is, from wherever on your property to wherever, the longest shot that you'll be making is 600 yards, learn to shoot at 8. Get comfortable engaging, using that long gun from 100 meters out to 800 meters or whatever. Meters, yards, you guys use whatever nomenclature you want, whatever unit of measure you want, but if your longest shot is at 6, learn to shoot at 8. Because if you get proficient hitting at 8, hitting at 6 is not that big of a challenge anymore. And you never know when you might have to stretch out to 8 or 1,000 or whatever. And that's not just buying the equipment and stockpiling the ammo and shooting a few rounds at the range each month. I mean, I got a buddy who's got a 50 cal, and he's allowed 5 rounds per month at his local range because the backstop can't take any more than that. 5 rounds isn't much. I mean, it's sight-in purposes, that's it. So you need to shoot a lot more than that. You need to go to some long-range shooting classes if you're not already trained in the proficiency with that weapon, and learn how to employ that weapon properly. For standoff capability, you do not want to fight at your front door, and for Overwatch. So I'd have 4 guys training the use of a long gun. I'd have probably 6 guys, obviously with carbines, right? Standard loadout, minimum 6 mags plus 1 in the gun, IFAK, hydration, whatever else. Couple smokes and some chem lights, whatever, standard loadout. Day pack, whatever they're gonna need for a day. And good morning, squirrel. There's our logs across the creek, beginning of what will be the bridge. So I'd have 6 guys rocking M4 type platforms on the regular. 3 2-man teams. Brings us to 10. And I'd have a couple guys that either rocked an M4 or a 12 gauge, depending on the situation. 12 gauge is rounds limited, but boy, up close, inside of 30-40 yards, it's gonna ruin your day. So depending on the position, location, the logistics of the situation, there's nothing wrong with a guy running a 12 gauge. It's also an extremely common type of ammunition. So, and then sidearms, do whatever you choose. Likelihood that you have to engage with your sidearm is 0, statistically speaking, or close to it, but you never know. So commonality of caliber, all the carbines should be in the same caliber, sidearms in the same caliber. And then establish checkpoints within a half a mile, I'd say, or so, outside of whatever your location is. If people are at your front door, so to speak, ready to put rounds on you, you failed. That's an indefensible position. So, hold on. So, if the bad guys are already at your front door, you basically failed. That's the whole standoff capability thing. So, in a rural area out here, I'm gonna go a half mile up every county road around here and put somebody there with comms, our own internal comms. And part of that, getting back to security, is everybody has call signs. Every position has is named. I'm at checkpoint Delta. Okay, we know what that is. We're hoping that nobody else does. We're not going to say, yeah, I'm over here at the corner of Buck Creek and by the pecan tree, right where County Road 92 hits it. Yeah, okay, now everybody knows where you're at. But I would have teams half a mile out or so, observing and ready to deter if necessary. And depending on which way the wind was blowing that day, I may take those 2-man teams and reinforce with other people from the group and make them 3 or 4-man teams. If you're in the city and trying to do something like this, don't. Just leave. Just literally leave right now. Put your phone down, put some gear in a backpack and leave, because the city is not defensible. The end. You want proof of that? Just Google Fallujah and see what you get. It's not anything you want a part of. Suburbs. This is tricky. I said yesterday, the biggest issue that I see with the suburbs is you better really get along with your neighbors. If you don't, and you're trying to defend your neighborhood, your block, your whatever, and there's one person that is not of an accord with you, now you've got a two-front war. Fighting outside and fighting inside. And the problem with fighting inside is it doesn't take a military historian to know you will lose a two-front war. Okay? It's not sustainable, and you're wasting time, material, resources, and energy having to put down quarrels within your neighborhood, within your boundaries, rather than just defending from the inside out. Now you're also defending from the inside in, and it's a problem. It's a serious problem. So you better really like your neighbors right now and all be of one accord, or you need to get out, or you need to have a plan for that guy that you know is going to be a problem. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Now, if you're in like a development per se, there's a lot of these in North Texas, kind of on the outskirts of the town proper, that used to be a, cattle ranch that they paved and put up 200 houses on. You're going to need to defend and control all the access and egress points. And you're also going to need to be really good with your neighbors now, because like I said, when it goes down, the last thing you want to deal with is people inside your boundaries causing problems. So my recommendation is to get out of there to a place like this where I am, because I have lots of room for lots of people and I have lots of resources. And our MAG, our mutual assistance group, is right now, as we speak, reorganizing our plans for what do we do when SHTF from, let's just say, the bug out locations have changed. This is now the refuge in the wilderness, and part of the onus for me is to make sure when these people come here, they have a safe and secure environment to come to. So, life is dynamic. Things are always changing. This was a big positive change for us to have this place for us and for our team and for anybody else who might need it. And it's far more defensible and far more productive than suburbia. So that's my thoughts on security. I'm sure I'll have more as my brain allows me to kind of lock down on some of these issues. And I'm going to do a few more breakout videos on continuity of community for different aspects. So I'll get with y'all and let y'all know. There's nothing like being able to walk around with an AR strapped to your chest on your own land. Talk to y'all later. Bye.